Hey, we're hanging out with Jenna from KLV Photography, and we're just going to ask some questions of her and see what's going on with her. Today we're going to ask her what's up with her Instagram, and we're going to choose some photos from her Instagram, and she's going to explain the message or the story behind those Instagram photos.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this one.
Okay. So this is Cecilia and Min. Shout out to those guys. How y'all doing? We actually went to San Diego. So in this photo,
Yeah.
the tide was kind of high,
Oh, okay.
and then they were still down for it. Always, all the time, I'm always gonna ask
Meaning
how
like
down?
you're going to get wet?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like we're in the splash zone.
I see.
And how much of the splash zone are you guys ready for? What level are we at? These guys are like level 10. Let's go all the way. I'm gonna dive off of the cliff.
Are you waiting till the end of the session to do these splash zone?
Every time, yeah. Well, because like we don't want things. Plus, it's like sometimes you just get soaked, and in this case, we actually got soaked.
Oh, you did?
A huge
Did you get
wave.
soaked?
I got soaked.
Oh.
A huge wave came crashing over all of us.
What about your camera?
Oh, I covered it. I put it under my shirt so fast, and then I turned away so quick.
Okay, how about this photo? Tell me about the story about that photo.
So Gina and her girls, what we did was the space actually was kind of tight, and the timing as well was just like the sun's right above your head. And if y'all don't know, if the sun's right above your head, you get these like mean ass shadows going on right here. So we're trying to escape that, you know?
Right.
So what I did is found a sweet little corner just outside of the bridal suite. And then it's just hanging out with the girls. She has a long train. We're going to display it, pull it out to the side, have everyone kind of stand together.
Everyone looks so posh, though. How do you do that? Like, how do you get everyone? All the girls could be, like, super chatty or whatever, like, having fun. But then there's this moment. It's like, posh time.
Posh time.
How does that happen?
Posh time is, so honestly, it's so fast. And everyone's kind of like in their own mindset too. A lot of times posh comes off because people are kind of shy. And it's like, I'll quickly say like, okay, I'll have you face this way. And then your flowers are going to be upright. I'll have you face this way. And your flowers are pointing downwards. The bride, we want to do something extravagant. So I'm going to be like, lay across this damn thing. Like you're Cleopatra. Because that's how I talk, honestly, with some of our brides. Or just like lay there like you own it. Like this is your garden.
So you're like trying to find the words to like kind of break them out of their shyness or something.
Yeah.
And then you catch
and then they
it?
feel themselves in that moment.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm providing a little bit of banter behind. Because some parties can do that themselves.
Yeah.
They have that. They're loud, they're rambunctious, they're punchy, they're ready.
Yeah.
Kind of going on. But in other cases, when they're a little bit more shy, it's kind of like giving that moment to them too. And then I'm just there. I'm just clicking. I'm like, here, you stand here. Stand like this. And then feel that pose. I'm like, oh, like bring your spine up a little bit. Or to make everyone laugh a little bit, I'm like, put your boobies towards me. Because it's just girls, right? Or like for the bride.
Can't imagine Kevin saying that.
No, not at all, because he's a guy. They'd be like, oh what? Oh what? I'd be like, put your butt towards me, ladies.
Yeah.
And then shake it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then just in that movement,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you can capture something super dope.
Ah, I see. Tell me about, so this is one of your first, weddings back during the pandemic time.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell me about this photo.
So in this photo, we wanted to keep like the grandness of the ceremony itself, of them getting together, this posh sort of look. At the same time, it's exactly what happened. We have to wear masks.
Well, yeah. How was it with masks? Like, how was it with the couple wearing masks and you guys wearing masks? Like, how was it for like COVID time, the wedding? Was it a big difference?
I would say it's a substantial difference, but
how?
Not in the sense of where you're not having fun. I think people who are ready to get married, who are getting married this time, it's like, yes, you do have to cut down on your guest count from the 200 that you had or something. But at the same time, it's like everyone that is present, you already know was taking the time to prepare themselves and to be safe, because they wanted to really truly celebrate with you. And not just for a party, they wanted to celebrate with you for your ceremony. They wanted to see you get married.
Yeah.
And then for the couple, it's like, it's not too different aside from the mass itself, because now they're being a little bit more mindful of like how they're approaching people and everything. And it's really sweet too, because them and then all of our past couples thus far since the opening up of everything with the pandemic have been very kind, very gracious, very understanding, seeing comfort levels, making sure that we're safe as we're going to do for them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I have hand sanitizer on me at all times, so that's different.
How is it working with a mask though?
It's hot.
And like directing and like, it's hot.
It's hot. It's hot with a mask on. It's not too hard to breathe, really.
Yeah.
I have a cotton mask, so that like soaks up my sweat a little bit too. Directing, it is a little bit harder. If I'm far enough away from them, so I put like a little chain on mine, so I can drop it real quick, and I'll be like, "You need to hold her. No kiss." And it's a lot of like weird sign language, so I've been doing like, I'm like forehead, or I'm like, okay, you go like this. I'm like.
Ah, okay.
It's a lot of
language. I see. That's cool.
And then you go like this because they can only see your eyes.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, okay, go here, right here, go here, right here. Oh man, this one is the funniest though, because we have like a lot of times I'm like, oh, like as you slowly initiate the juicier poses, as I like to say.
Sultry.
The sultry poses. But it's not even that sultry. I'm like, okay, foreheads together. I'm like, okay, noses together. Now you go rub like this. And then if I say, because sometimes you get a little conscious being in front of like your immediate family or something like that with certain pictures. So I'll be the crazy one, and I'll be like, put your hips together. I'll be like, and then I pose as they are. Yeah. So for the girls, I'll pose.
Mirror.
Yeah.
I see.
I'll be like, okay, like this, because I can't sometimes like.
So funny.
You can't like really touch them or anything like that, so I'm like, okay, like this.
Yeah.
So do the same exact poses, and I swear to God, I go home, and this is for female and male poses. I look at them in the mirror, and I check myself out, and I'm like, all right, cool, this is what we need to do next. And then for men, I'm like, okay, you go here, and then I'm like trying to stand up. I'm like, put your hand in your pocket, and then
masculine,
this is her right here. Yeah. Like being mindful of how my hips aren't just like tilting, because like as
guys don't stand that way.
Yeah, guys don't tilt their hips, right? But I'm like, no, so you stand here like this, and your chest is up like this, and then your hand is here, and not so high up on the back. You go low back. And I always like mess around too. I would go like, okay, go a little bit lower, lower. So.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing how you pose and what's been going on, and sharing like what's going on with your feet and everything. You can check out Jenna and our main page, links below and all that stuff, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.